Hey, I'm back. This is Chandler for Melda Production. I'm going to do a quick and easy one today using MMatcher. Now, this isn't some big revelation, but I thought it might be interesting for some of you. Basically, today, what I'm going to show you how to do is how to switch pickups using MMatcher. So, one reason you might want to do this is because maybe, let's say, there's a certain part where you want to switch sounds. And of course, if you have the guitar to do that, that's great. You can just do that manually on your guitar, but sometimes you might forget to do this, or who knows, maybe you think like afterwards, like, you know what, I should have switched pickups there. That would have sounded better. And this can be, a completely different part, or it could just be like, you know what, for this one line or this one, high note, it sounds better with a different pickup. So you can do that, and I'll show you how. So first of off, we just have this sound. There's nothing on MMatcher now. So you see here, I didn't really do much of any. Actually, I think everything on here is just default. But don't worry, this is not really like a tone video. I'm just gonna mostly focus on how to change the pickup here. So I have this. I labeled it neck pickup because I use the neck pickup on my guitar. Now, as I showed in the previous video, you can analyze the input and get your input that way, but an easier way is just go in here and do what I did. I made this folder in here called My Guitars, and then I have my guitars here, basically. I'll probably move the smoothness down, maybe like 2 or so, like this. And so because I already have that in there, each time I don't have to do the analysis. I already have the analysis done. This just saves you lots of time. I recommend doing this with the guitars you use often. Actually, maybe even the ones you don't use that often, just so you have them in there, and it just makes everything much easier, in my opinion. Now we can get to the fun stuff. We're going to go in here and let's find an electric guitar sound that we like. Actually, pickups. It says this default at 5, but I like to move it down just a little bit more. I don't know what should we use. Try this first position. Maybe this sounds good. Oh, make sure it's not bypassed. Ooh, something's wrong here. I have yeah, this. I see the output. It's leaning to one side. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Now let's turn it on and off just so we can hear the difference. Now to me, that's sounding fairly different. Now, one easy way we can do this is just to bypass it. You can go in here and we can use the bypass in our automation. And that makes things like fairly easy to do just using this bypass here. I'll turn this on to show you how. So let's say the first one here. Ooh, made that small. I want this bypassed. Let's make sure we turn this off. Unfortunately, I didn't sync this here. And we can just draw this however we want. So try to make this so these first two on, off, on, like this. As we watch MMatcher, it should work like this. Actually, make sure this turns on before the start here. So you should be able to hear the pickup changing from this first position single coil sound to my normal sound like this. Hopefully you could hear that. I was thinking this bypass lit up, but it doesn't. But you can see the meter stop moving when I do that. So it is actually being bypassed. And if you listen to it, do it one more time quickly, you can hear what it's doing. And so that's how you do it. As you saw here, I tried to switch it in these little gaps where I'm not playing. That just makes it less noticeable. And I think it'll make it a little bit smoother. But enough of that. Go here and let's erase this, remove the envelope. And you might be thinking, that's cool, but what if I want to do this in a slightly different way? I don't want to bypass and turn it on and off. I want to move between two different MMatcher profiles. So if I like this strap position, this is good. What I'm going to do here is make a preset. So let's say video, we'll call this single coil here. Boom. So this is our first sound, and let's get another one. Just anything you want is okay. Let's see if I can get more of like a jazz tone. Do I have? I guess I could do semi-acoustic. See if there's anything interesting. D'Angelico. Trying to find something that sounds a bit different. It's more, I don't know, jazzy, a little bit more warm. These are pretty good. And make sure the levels are close to the same. I want to make sure the input and output are somewhat the same, so that way when I switch between the two presets here, they're not getting really different loudness levels. You can use the set button to do that, but sometimes I like to just do things by hand. Sometimes it seems better to me. Once you have that, we can just make another preset, call it Bucker, like this. And now we just need to switch between them. This can sometimes be a bit annoying. So what we're going to do here is use the automation. And for this, we have two. So previous and next. Do next first, and then previous. So we need to make sure which one we're on first. Let's see. Start with single coil here. I probably should move those around, but let's do this next here. Turn this on. Ooh, oh no. Make sure I have this lined up correctly. Then I'll go into this one. Go into the previous. I don't want that to happen. This is a bit annoying. I wish there was just a way to basically just turn one of these on and off or switch between them like an A-B function, but I have to do this going back and forth between the two presets. So this makes it take a bit longer, and that's annoying in my opinion, but it works. Turning these on and off, so that way every other chord will be on, like a humbucking sound, and the next one will be the single coil sound. Here we go. One more here. I probably shouldn't have done so many. You probably get the idea after me doing this once, but let's be thorough. Here we go. And the last one. So hopefully you should be able to see this and hear this switch between these two presets easily. So we're getting two different sounds like this. And that's how you can switch between different pickup sounds. Now, you could do more of these if you wanted to, and I could keep using one of these to move between like 3 pickup positions or 4 or 5 or pretty much as many as you want. But I thought two's probably enough. This could be used in lots of different ways, so sometimes you might think like, for this particular riff or something I'm playing on the high notes, the humbucker sounds good, but on the low notes, maybe the single coil sounds good, or maybe something in between. Maybe you're playing like a riff, but then in the middle of it, it kind of goes into maybe like a lead part, and you think, for the lead, this bridge pickup is a little bit too harsh. So you can use this to move to the neck pickup just for a specific section to make it sound better. And by doing this, you can really like get some interesting sounding parts. You might even use this for something like if you have multi-tracked guitars and you're like, okay, for the most part it sounds good, but maybe when I play in the higher notes, these doubles don't sound quite as good. And for that, you can change to a different pickup using MMatcher, and by doing that, you get a better sound. So hopefully I gave you some ideas of things you can do with this. Hopefully this was short and didn't take up too much of your time. If you like this, give me a thumbs up. Also, if you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. And be sure to check out all the other plugins at meldaproduction.com. Till next time, see you.